Okay, so I was taking, they have some kind of a wax for oilskin garments, and then I was just waxing, or heating it up and brushing it onto my shoes so that they became waterproof, and then heating it up with a blow dryer so that the wax would sink in, and then I have waterproof shoes, and that makes me cool. Because it's so yeah, now I'm doing it. I did it to my hat too, and now I'm doing the underside of the hat. And my brother James is very jealous. Very jealous. You can see the jealousy as he plays games. Oh, you got the multiplier going. The worst part is that you always, or I don't have any with me here, I wish I did. You need like mineral spirits to get the wax out of the brush when you're done. I don't have any mineral spirits with me. Sorry. So I was trying to think if I should do another coat on the top of this, but I've already done 4 or 5 coatings. So I probably don't need to, except for I was out yesterday and it kept all the rain, or none of the water soaked through, but except for just along this ring on the edge. So I was going to flip it over today and try and touch up this this outside ring. The wax is also supposed to prevent the garment from getting damaged by UV rays, or at least not as damaged, but I haven't really done much to the underside of it because the underside isn't going to see much direct sunlight, so I figured it wasn't necessary. This edge has given me problems before. It's not a very convenient place to spread the wax on, so I'll just keep going with it until it finally gets in, but it's kind of hard to get around the edges. And then I just got the oilskin wax soaking in a water bath, and then just heat it up on the stove. You can do it dry, but it sinks in better it applies better if you do it wet, and then use like a blow dryer, as we saw earlier, to actually make it soak in as deep as it can get. So at this point it's really messy looking, but when you take the blow dryer to it and really blow dry it, it sinks in very nicely, so it doesn't look so tacky, I guess is the right word. Oops. And you'll spill wax. That's just kind of par for the course. So oilskin garments can be somewhat tedious to take care of because it takes a long time to cover it all in the wax and then heat it up with the blow dryer or whatnot to make sure it soaks in. But if you do it regularly enough, the garment should never go bad. You can have it, your entire life. You just have to be sure to take care of it. So it can be a really good investment if you're willing to put that kind of time and work in. But if you got a free Saturday afternoon, you can blaze some music or turn on a movie and listen to that in the background as you go through. I still want to try and get a small, or I guess about this size oven that can only heat up to maybe 100 degrees, because then you don't even need the blow dryer, you just stick it in the oven. But a standard oven that goes up to, or as low as 170 degrees Fahrenheit is still too hot for most of these garments. You need it to be at about 100 degrees so that they don't burn. The most important aspect is just to get as much of the oil, not actually on the not on the body of the fabric, but on the seams and the stitching, because that's where most of the holes in the fabric are. So you want to get the wax in those holes to prevent leakage or water getting through in the future. That's where most of the leakage will actually happen at.